Okay, so I'm gonna tell you my story, which is not really interesting because it's real life and things happen. You have sad moments and you have good moments, and it's just a mess. But we have to continue because life goes on, it doesn't stop. So while I'm telling you my story, I hope that you will be writing questions that you would like to ask me. And also you can write comments, or if you don't understand something that I said, you can just ask me again and I will clarify that for you. So just make sure that you write your questions down. Okay? Okay?
Yes.
Okay. And don't be shy, because when I speak to you, I will keep on asking you if everything is okay and if you understand me, so that we are together, in the session, okay?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. Right now it's 7 p.m. It's 7 p.m. on my side. It's in the evening. I'm in South Korea in Asia. Do you guys know South Korea?
Yeah, I just read some of the stories in South Korea. We don't
Yeah.
literally physically been there.
Okay, but do you guys know Asia?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm in Asia, but not China, South Korea. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let me tell you about my life. So I was born in 1991. So that means I'm 30 years old right now. And I was born in Brits. Brits is in Northwest, and it's a rural area. And when I was born, there was no electricity. So I grew up to the age of 7, and still we didn't have electricity. And then I moved to Rustenburg. Rustenburg is also in Northwest, but then Rustenburg is an advanced village. So we had electricity, and life was better because it's an advanced electricity. They have mines, platinum mines. So it means a lot of people have jobs. So the city is well maintained. You have shopping malls. So life was good because I lived in a better village. But then when I left Brett, um, I left with my mother only, meaning we left my dad in Brent. So we went to Rustenburg. When we went to Rustenburg, we moved to Rustenburg because my mother was getting married to my stepdad. So I have two brothers. So we get to Rustenburg. I'm living with my mom and my stepfather. Life is just beautiful. Everything is okay. And I was doing grade 2. I was doing grade 2 at a new school, but I was very smart and I was confident. So I got along with other students, although I was new. And on that year, I was a prefect of the class. So it was a very great achievement because it's my first year and already I'm a prefect. So it was a great achievement for me. I finished my primary school, then I went to middle school. Middle school was also nice. I had a lot of friends and I had good grades or good marks, because I was smart. Then I went to high school, and most of the teachers in high school, they liked me. They liked me because obviously, when you're a smart student, teachers like you. So it was the case with me. I had an English teacher, and every day during English period, we would read a book, like a storybook, every day. But the problem was that the English teacher would ask me to read every day, but not the other students, me. So I used to get irritated, like, why are you choosing me all the time? But then I didn't show it to my teachers because I respect my teachers, but it was bothering me. Why me all the time? Like, why should I read all the time? But then I can tell you that um, she was training me. She was training me to be confident. She was training me to speak English fluently. So I'm very grateful for that moment, because if it wasn't for that moment, I wouldn't be a person who's able to stand in the public and speak to like a lot of people. And I wouldn't be where I am, maybe, probably, if it wasn't for her to push me like that. And then also my life orientation teacher, um, she told me to apply for a university when I was in matric, but I didn't want to apply for a university because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I just felt like I'm living in the villages. Why are we talking about university? I must just go find a job after I finish matric. But then I applied to a university just because of my teacher asked me to do it. So I was just applying to impress her because he asked me to do it. So it was time for grade 12 finals. So I wrote my first exam, but when I was supposed to write my second exam, I was involved in a car accident. So it was a very tragic car accident. My skull was open, like my arm was not functioning. It was so bad. So I was in hospital. When I got discharged from hospital, my peers were still writing their matric, the other papers. So they asked me if I want to continue writing my exam or if I should wait for next year. So I just felt like the whole of my matric year I was studying. So maybe I can give it a try and write my exam, even if at that time I didn't study for the exam, but I must just give it a try. So I decided to write, and then lucky enough I passed my matric. The results were not good. I didn't even get a bachelor's. I only got a national diploma, but it was good because I didn't even study, and I managed to get a national diploma. Oh, diploma. So I was happy, and I had applied for University of Johannesburg. So University of Johannesburg accepted um, my application. So at that time, I have a university acceptance, and I also have my matric results. So what do I do? Okay, the best thing is for me to go to a university because I'm here and I have all this acceptance. So at home we were not rich, but we were just okay. Like every night, or like in the day, you had enough food to eat, enough clothes, and just like enough money for survival, but not rich. So when I told my parents about going to university, they said, okay, we don't have money, but just go to university and we will see what we can do for you. I went to university, and on the first day of registration, I was asking questions about where to live, the res and other things. And then I met a woman who told me about NSFAS. By that time, I didn't even know NSFAS. Do you guys know NSFAS?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. I didn't even know anything about NSFAS, but at least she told me about that. And then I went to their offices, and then they told me that I could apply. So back in the years, you could apply for NSFAS like in January, but now you guys have to apply a year before. So I was lucky. I applied, and then a few days later, they accepted my financial application. So meaning NSFAS would fund my studies. So I was so happy that NSFAS agreed to fund my studies, and my parents don't really have to worry about sending me money or paying for my tuition fee. So my first year, I was doing retail business management. Retail business management is a course where it's about business, and it's about the big stores, your Pick and Pay or your Woolworths, your Checkers, all those big stores that you see. We call them retail. So I was studying that on my first year, but then I realized that retail is very limited. So you can only focus on retail stores. But I realized that no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be in retail, but I still want to be in business. So I had to do my research and find out which courses are more about business and they are broad. So I found a course called Logistics Management. So I decided to do logistics, and logistics is also about business, and it's about when you make the product and you transport the product to the final destination. So logistics is a movement of items. So I was happy with that course. I did that course on from second year until I graduated. So when I graduated, I got a logistics diploma from the University of Johannesburg. And then when I was still doing my diploma, I was elected as an SRC president. So UJ has 4 campuses, and then the other 3 campuses, the presidents were males, like they were males. And my campus, I was a female president. So it was hard because in politics, when you're a woman, things become hard. Like men can just be like um very rough, and they don't want to play games when it comes to politics. So for me, it was not an easy space to be surrounded by all these men, but I was grateful that I made it, and it gave me a lot of opportunities. It gave me a lot of connections. We would travel, we'd go to Cape Town and other places. So I was happy. And also, they would pay you. So it was my first time getting paid, like salary. So I was very happy to be an SRC president. And then while I was still studying, I decided to do other part-time jobs. And then I also worked with SATU. You guys know SATU? Do you guys know SATU? SADTU, SATU.
And for teachers? Yes, yes, we do.
Yes. So I worked with SATU as a career guidance facilitator. So we used to go to different provinces, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, Northwest, and we were going to schools. We were motivating students and also helping them to choose careers because they were in grade 12, and then helping them to apply for universities. So I loved doing that because it felt good knowing that I'm helping another child to go to university, and after university, they'll be able to support themselves and also be independent. And we were going to like villages where kids were not even like they didn't even have an idea of what it takes to go to university, or they didn't even think that they would make it to university, because most of them they thinking that people who go to universities are rich, which is not the case. So I finished my national diploma, like I said. So I had a qualification, meaning that now I can find a job. So I went to look for a job, and I worked for Velu Logistics. Velu Logistics is a truck company, like it's very big. It's a truck company. Do you guys know Velu Logistics?
No.
Ah, okay. It's a very big company for trucks. The logo is white, purple, and orange. Like it's very popular. So I worked for that. It was my first job. It was very good. When I went to the interview, there were so many candidates. Like there was 150 people who applied, and they only wanted 50 people. So at least I was part of the 50 people that got accepted. So it was also a big deal for me. So I worked at that company for seven months. Yeah, I worked at that company for 7 months. But then when I was on my 6th month, yeah, on my 6th month, I was involved in a second car accident. I was involved in a second car accident, and I was walking with crutches. It was just so hard. Like it was hard physically because I couldn't even walk. So I was new at the job because it was only 6 months. So I'm new and I don't have enough leave days to sit at home because I'm very new in the company. So it was stressful for me. Like it was quite stressful for me. So I just thought that maybe I should go back to school and do a BTech. So a BTech is equivalent to a bachelor's degree because that time I only had a national diploma. So I just thought maybe let me do a BTech, which is equivalent to a degree, so that I can have a degree. So I had to choose if I'm going to school full time and I'm quitting this job. But then if I'm going back to school, I have to pay for my fees. So it means I must stay in the job so that I can pay for my fees. But I decided to look for another job, and luckily I got a job at University of Johannesburg. So meaning I went to University of Johannesburg to do my BTech, and at the same time I got a job at the University of Johannesburg. So I was working and studying at the same time in the same institution. So it was really good for me to get that opportunity. So when they hired me at the University of Johannesburg, they hired me as a programs manager. So it means that my job is to accept the students, help them with the application. If they need timetables or they need information about the lecturer, they would come to me and I'd make sure that they get everything they need until they graduate. So that was my job. So I worked at UJ from the year 2014, and time went by. Oh, 2014. Oh, so remember I told you that I had two fathers. Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah. So what happened is that when I left Rustenburg, obviously it was my mom and stepdad that were in Rustenburg, and I moved to Johannesburg. So my biological father, moved to Joburg also because he was a teacher. So he was teaching in a secondary school in Joburg. So I was in Joburg, he was in Joburg. So we had a good relationship and we were very close. So a tragic moment happened in my life where my dad passed away, and he passed away as a result of murder. So meaning he was stabbed, like he was stabbed to death, and he died. So it was heartbreaking because I was 22 years old. I was 22 years old, which is young. Like I'm young at that time. So it was a very sad moment for me. But yeah, life had to go on, because it doesn't stop. So life went on. I finished my BTech, and after I finished my BTech, I registered for my honors. So my honors is still in logistics management. So I studied my honors while I was still working in UJ. But then I was feeling like, okay, now it's 2016 and I've been working in UJ in the same position. I'm doing same thing every day. I don't like this. I need to find another job at a different company and hopefully a logistics job because I have a qualification. So I need to find a job for that qualification. So I was applying for jobs, but I was not getting jobs. So I was feeling like I'm not progressing, but the people that I went to school with are progressing. And it was not enough for me. You know, you're getting a salary, you're buying cars, you're buying houses, but it's not enough. I need more, especially for my career. Like, I need to get promoted, I need to be something, something, you know this is a career. So that's how I felt like, but I was not getting a job in other companies. So yeah, time went by, and then the end of I think it was the end of 2016. The end of 2016, my dad, the one who's in Rustenburg, my stepdad, the one who's in Rustenburg, he also died in 2016. So now I had lost two fathers, like in a very short period of time. So yeah, I started not feeling, too good because I just felt like my life is a mess. Like the job is just crap. I don't like this job. I need another job. And now, my both my fathers just passed away. So I was just not feeling okay. So time goes by, my life is just boring. That's how I felt like my life is boring. I go to this same work every day in, day out. It was frustrating. So one day on a Sunday, I I was driving and then I get a call. So I'm picking up the call and they telling me that my boyfriend was involved in an accident and he died on the spot. Why? Why me? You understand? So I was feeling like, why me? Why all these things are happening to me? So I fell into depression. So I got depression. Do you guys know depression? Do you
Yes,
guys know
yes, yes.
depression? Yes. So yeah, I
Yes,
got
we do know depression.
I got depression. I was very depressed and I just felt like life is not nice, but at least I didn't feel like I want to commit suicide, like I want to kill myself. I was not yet at that point, but I felt like I'm getting close to that point because I don't even understand, like, what's my purpose? Why am I living? Because I'm just feeling so empty. Like, I'm just waking up and sleeping. That's it. Like, I was feeling so empty. But still, life has to go on. Like, it doesn't wait for anybody or it doesn't wait for anything. So I had a friend, a best friend, which we met when we were like 7 years old. So we were best friends, and even in university, we were still together. So at UJ, I think it was almost 7 years. Like I was working in UJ for almost 7 years now in the same position. And my friend was in the IT department for 6 years, and she also felt like she's stuck in the same job and like she doesn't like it. So she told me that she saw an opportunity in South Korea and she wants to go to South Korea and teach. And then I said to her, like, what are you talking about? Are you talking about China? Don't you know that there's human trafficking and like they still people? This thing is a lie. It's not there. Then she said, no, I've done my research and the jobs are real. So I'm going to apply. I didn't trust that, like I didn't trust that job and the agency, but she applied because that's what she wanted and she did her research. So after she applied, she got accepted. So meaning she got a job offer, like in South Korea. And she left. When she left, it was a shock. Like, for real, are you leaving South Africa and going to work in South Korea? So she left, and every day she would video call me, showing me South Korea and telling me how the students in Korea are behaving, how the job is in Korea, and how different is South Korea. Because, like, for example, I told you about the time zones, like now it's at night, but you guys, like, it's in the afternoon. And, like, right now it's the end of spring, but you guys are approaching winter. And, like, the food that they eat, completely different. They don't have pap. They don't even know what is pap. Like, everything is just different from South Africa. Like, they don't have load shedding even. The electricity crisis that we have in South Africa, they don't even have that. So I was like, oh, okay, it sounds interesting. And you are there and you are telling me that it's real. And I can see that it's real. Okay, I also want to apply. So I applied also, and I moved to Korea in January 2020. Yeah, January 2020, that's when I moved to Korea. So when I arrived in Korea, it was so different because Asia is not an English speaking continent. So, like, English is not their thing. So the people don't speak English, and I'm speaking English. So how do we communicate to one another? It was so tough. Like, everything you do, you have to use Google Translate to speak to them. So the adjustment was quite, like, ooh, shady. But my friend was there and she came before me, so she helped me with a lot of things, and I was comfortable knowing that, ooh, it's not a scam. Like, this is a real job. So I was happy to be in Korea. And before coming to Korea, I told myself that never, never, ever, ever will I be a teacher. There's no way I can never be a teacher. I hate that job. Like, students are disrespectful. Even if they are saying, like, jobs are finished, I'll never be a teacher. That was me. But when I got to Korea, oh, I don't want to lie to you. The students are so amazing. It doesn't matter if it's primary or middle or high school. They have so much respect. It's surprising. Like, these people, they respect you. They love you. They make you feel like you matter. Like, so it's just beautiful. And right now I'm working for a public school, but I'm teaching primary school students. They give me so much headache because, obviously it's primary, so they're making noise, but the respect is there, but noise is noise. And they don't really understand English because they are still young, and they're speaking a different language. So you have to try by all means to make sure that you understand each other. And most of my classes, I'm teaching alone. So you can imagine it's just me and those kids. So we have to find a way to communicate. But I'm loving my job as a teacher. I'm loving my job. And uh, the day when I said, never ever will I be a teacher, in life, they say never say never. So this is that moment. Never say never, because you might never know what life holds for you. Um, with my logistics, like, qualifications that I had, I never found a job in logistics. But then now I'm a teacher, and of all the jobs that I had, this is the best job ever. Like, this is the best job. It makes me feel good, and it has like inspired me to even want to be like a qualified teacher, because in Asia, you don't have to be a qualified teacher to teach English. You, as long as you have a degree, as long as you have dealt with students before, because remember I was a career guidance facilitator, so I have dealt with students before. So as long as you have those two, you can you went to university, you have a qualification, and you have dealt with students before, then you can find a job. So um I love teaching, and it has encouraged me to even do a course in teaching. So last year, I just finished my master's with University of Johannesburg, because I was studying online. So I have a master's degree with University of Johannesburg. Oh, sorry, master's qualification with University of Johannesburg. And now I'm currently doing my teaching certificate. So once I finish my teaching certificate, I'll be a qualified teacher. So I can come back to South Africa and be a teacher, hopefully. But that's not what I want. I want to go to Europe, America, Canada, and be a teacher. Like that side. And I'm just trying to plan my life, because right now I've seen how convenient other countries are. Because, like, for example, in South Africa, there's a lot of crime. There's a lot of crime, like hijackings, killings, what you call it, gender-based violence. There's just so many crimes going on, and I'm like, I don't want to go back to South Africa. Like, it's scary. So I'm just trying to live in other countries, maybe until I'm like 50, then I can go back home. So I want to be in a very good country like Canada, and have my kids. Oh, I don't have children, but I want to have children in Canada, so that my children can have um, Canadian citizenship, meaning that they can live in Canada anytime they want to. Like, even if they want to go to school in Canada, or if they want to live there forever, they will have that opportunity. So, what I'm trying to tell you is that it's not about where you come from, it's about what you want to do. Like, you can be able to be anything that you want. And it doesn't mean that you'll only be successful when you have a qualification. No, it doesn't. But a qualification will open doors for you, and a qualification can also be a backup for you when you want to do like other things. You understand? Not all of you will be Casper Nyovest. Like, not all of you. Some of you, yes, you can be, but some of you, you'll not have that luck. So the best way is for you to get a qualification, and it'll open doors for you. If I didn't have a qualification, I wouldn't be in another country. I wouldn't even be in a teacher. But today, with that qualification, I'm able to live comfortably. I no longer depend on my family to like help me with anything. Meaning, now I'm a fully grown woman. I can have my own family. I can support myself, because you are going to grow up. You're not going to do matric forever. Next year, you'll be out of matric. You are going to grow up, and at some point you need to take care of yourself. So you have to make sure that you stand up for yourself, you find information about anything that you are interested in, and make sure that you apply for universities. Like, already, I was speaking to my former colleague in UJ yesterday. He told me that applications are open. Applications have been open since April. So you guys need to apply, so that should they accept you, you know that you've been accepted. You're just going to look for funding, or you can already apply for NSFAS, so that you can be able to study and get your qualification. even if you don't go to a university, you can still go to a college as long as you get a qualification so that you'll be able to get a proper job. You'll have a career. And one thing that I will forever remember about Korea, even if I leave Korea, is one of the best things that happened to me while I was still in Korea. So the best thing that happened to me is that when I came to Korea, I was wearing glasses. Like every day, I was wearing glasses because I was partially blind. You know, Bomatlazana, Negili Matlazana, when I came to Korea. But the thing is, when I was growing up, Nekisi Matlazana, but university and studying for a long time, I ended up being partially blind and I was wearing glasses for almost 10 years. Yeah, I was wearing glasses for almost 10 years. So in Korea, I did an eye surgery. So I did an eye surgery in Korea, and I think, yeah, it's been over a year since I did the eye surgery. So now I don't even need my glasses. I'm seeing like perfectly, like 100%. And it's something that I would never have done if I was in South Africa. Like the technology here is amazing. The medical system here is just, like so amazing, and things are not that expensive when it comes to um, like what you call this thing? Uh medical supplies and stuff, like, or when you go to hospital, things are not that expensive. So I was so lucky to do an eye surgery, and it's a lifetime thing because no actually now, which makes me very proud and happy. I can see my pretty self without glasses. So that's one thing that I will forever take with me, even when I leave Korea. So you
All
guys
right.
can do. Yeah.
Oh yes. We are now left with 5 minutes because we are going to run common test from 2 o'clock.
Oh,
And I just want you to open the platform for questions so that they'll be able to speak to you and you'll be able to share something with them. You want the question?
yeah. Let's do the questions.
Oh, there is one coming through. Where's the chair? Is there a chair here? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
And make sure that you are listening enough to her. A little bit better. Right. And then be out loud, ne? Yeah.
Uh, a very good afternoon to you, Imo. As you said, it's a late there. It's 8:15 somewhere there. If I didn't mistaken you, I want to ask some further questions, and please allow me to do so. The first question that I would like to ask is that you told us that you were in a family where you had a stepdad, and both parents, your fathers had been supportive to you. So that didn't even confuse you to choose your favorite when they were supporting you.
Okay. Thank you so much for that great question. It didn't like I didn't have my favorite because all of them were supporting me, and when I got to Rustenburg, I was a bit confused. Like, okay, why do I have a stepfather? Like, I don't understand. Why am I living with a different man? But he treated me so well that I no longer have like questions. He treated me so well. He sent me to school. He sent me to university because even if he was not paying for my fees because of NSFIS, he would send me money like every month. And throughout the years, he raised me up. He provided for me. When I finished university, he bought me my first car. And on the other hand, My biological dad also, before he died, he was so supportive to me with everything. He was a teacher, so he was like very smart. He's the one who gave me the brains and stuff. So I feel like I had to balance, like there was no favoritism. I loved all my, both my dads and my mom. So I never had a favorite.
Okay, so when it comes to the car accident, you had two crucial car accidents, but then you didn't lose hope or focus on your studies. What kept you pushing and have love for your studies?
So by then, like on my second accident, I was in university already. I was getting paid already because I had a job. So I had seen how independent I can be, and like life was good because I could do anything that I wanted. So it kept me going to say there's still life, like there's still life. And also I'm a very prayerful person, and I believe that my faith takes me anywhere I want to. So it was just all about, God, if this is your will, let it be done, but give me the strength to go through the challenges. So God was my pillar. Do you still have another question?
Yes,
Can I allow anyone and someone if you can continue? Anyone?
Uh, the second question that I want to ask is about your car accident. You had two crucial car accidents, but then you didn't lose hope to your studies and in a dream that you had to achieve for having bachelor of teaching.
Oh, so I think I've answered that previously, but one thing I can add is that if you have a goal, you need to focus on the goal. No matter what happens, keep your eyes on the goal because that's what you want to do. There'll be obstacles because nothing comes easy. There'll be challenges, but you need to focus on the goal. So I had a goal. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be independent. So I had to push.
Okay, so in North Korea, there's no pub. So when you come back in South Africa, can you still eat pap and chakalaka?
So I'm in South Korea. So I'm in South Korea, not North Korea, but North Korea and South Korea are very close to each other. When I come back to South Africa, I will definitely eat pap and chakalaka because chakalaka is my favorite and also pap is my favorite. So every time there's someone coming to Korea, I ask them to bring me 2 kg of pap. But with the chakalaka, I watched on YouTube and I learned how to make chakalaka. So I know how to make chakalaka because they have carrots and beans. So yeah, I'll still eat those. Those are my favorites. And also mohodu tribe is my favorite. So I cannot wait to come back home and eat that. But just to visit South Africa, I don't want to live in South Africa for the next coming 20 years.
All right, Imo, thank you so much. Is there anyone? All right, thank you, my friend. You are a journalist, né? You were able to ask these crucial questions, and I'm so proud of you. Né? All right, Imo?
Yeah.
I'm just checking through the window if the teacher is coming through. All right?
Yeah.
But over and above, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you, and again, for spending your quality time with us. These are your brothers and your sisters, and I believe that you have inspired them to go overseas as well. And I know that they might not be open to you now, but ultimately after this session, few of them will be talking to me that, no, no, sir, I want to go there, I want to go there. That is what I know about kids. And I hope, even the president of the, can you speak to the president of the LRC here? Please come. There's a president here, and I guess and believe that he should be inspired because you were once a president of UJ.
Yeah. President, how are you? President, how are you?
I am fine, and you?
I'm good, good. Thank you so much. So, have you decided what you want to study as a career?
Excuse me.
So, do you know what you want to do when you finish school? Do you know what you want to do or what you want to be?
Yeah, I know what I want to do when I finish school.
Yeah, and can you tell me about it? What is it? What do you want to be?
What I want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to study computer science and mathematics.
Wow, wow, that's amazing. So my advice to you is that most of the universities right now the application is open. I can recommend you to apply at UJ, apply at UJ for that course, and then also because now you are a president, if you apply at UJ, they have a bursary for president, so you can get a bursary because you're a president. So don't even think that no, you don't have finances and stuff. Apply for the course at UJ and also apply for the bursary, leadership bursary at UJ. Okay?
Okay,
And make sure you pursue your dreams. Okay?
okay. Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
All right, Imo.
Yes.
Once again, I will ask if there is anyone again who will be asking questions. Anyone? My boy? Hello? Can you touch him? Can you go and speak to Imo then? Come. All right. He seems to be lost. Anyone? A lady. Please speak to a lady. Oh, he's coming. Oh, yes. He stretches himself up and he will be coming. The father will be so proud. Anna? Eh? No person. I thought there would be a lady because only boys spoke to you today. Okay? Kapuna? All right, you want to go again? Oh, by the way, yeah. We done? And the teacher consent for the period is here, Imo.
Okay.
Our time has expired. And I believe that once again we will agree to meet and inspire these beautiful kids of ours. And hopefully by July, I will invite you again because from Monday onward, they'll be starting their examinations.
Okay, no problem at all. And thank you so much.
All the best. God bless.
Thank you. Bye.
Can you take a selfie? Can you take a selfie with them? Let's take a selfie. Come. Yeah. Selfie. Selfie. Yeah, selfie, man. Are you ready to stand up? Don't go ahead. Can we do the stronger together? Wait. And you smile. This is beautiful, Ima. I'll send you this picture, eh?
Yes, thank you.
Good night, Imo.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
It was a pleasure to be with you and your Lord.